King Frederik's desperate gamble to save his reputation, even if it risks his marriage to Queen Mary. Welcome to BNews. It has been said that the weight of a crown is felt most not in the grand halls of a palace, but in the quiet hours of self-reflection, when a monarch wonders whether the choices they make will echo as honor or regret. This week, that timeless struggle took center stage in Denmark, as revelations emerged about the extraordinary lengths King Frederik has gone to preserve his reputation amid whispers of strain in his marriage to Queen Mary. Once lauded as the royal couple who embodied modern love and dignity, their private lives have now become fodder for tabloid headlines, sparking a nationwide and international debate over how far a monarch should go to shield their image, even at the expense of their partner. Before we unpack this riveting story in detail, we encourage you to like this video, subscribe to BNews, and click the notification bell. Here, we deliver in-depth, honest reporting on the world's most fascinating royal stories, and we want to hear from you, too. Would you sacrifice personal happiness to uphold duty? Share your thoughts in the comments after watching. Let's now explore the desperate steps taken by Denmark's King Frederik, and what they may cost him in the long run. The first cracks in the royal facade appeared quietly earlier this year, when several European gossip magazines published photographs showing Queen Mary appearing tense and withdrawn during a royal engagement. Normally poised and gracious, she seemed, in those candid shots, lost in thought, or perhaps weary of her surroundings. While no official explanation was given at the time, royal watchers began speculating whether all was well in the marriage of Denmark's most celebrated couple. The chatter only grew louder when videos surfaced showing awkward exchanges between Frederik and Mary at a charity gala, where she reportedly avoided his gaze and left the ballroom earlier than expected. Even though the palace issued a terse statement dismissing these reports as nonsense, the seed of doubt had been planted, and the Danish public, fiercely protective yet deeply curious about their royals, began to wonder if something was indeed amiss. Sources close to the royal household have since claimed that King Frederik was blindsided by the growing speculation, reportedly feeling betrayed by the notion that his perfect family image, something he had carefully curated over decades, could crumble so quickly. Palace insiders describe his reaction as panicked, yet calculated. "He's always been sensitive to public opinion," one insider explained. "But this time, he took it personally. He decided he couldn't let the narrative spiral out of his control." From that moment, it seems, a carefully orchestrated campaign was launched from within Amalienborg Palace. One of the first noticeable shifts was the dramatic increase in joint public appearances by the king and queen. Where previously they would divide their duties and occasionally appear solo, now they were almost inseparable. From ribbon cuttings to cultural festivals, their schedule seemed designed to portray them as an inseparable team. These appearances became more than ceremonial, they were a theater of affection. Observers noted the sudden, uncharacteristic hand-holding, warm smiles, and soft exchanges of words meant to be caught on camera. Photographers were given more access than usual, with strategic photo opportunities allowing the media to capture a romanticized version of their interactions. But while many were quick to praise the display of unity, not everyone was convinced. Some noted the gestures seemed forced, almost rehearsed, and questioned whether the queen's visible discomfort betrayed her true feelings. Behind the gilded doors of the palace, however, things were reportedly far less harmonious. According to confidants of Queen Mary, the Australian-born royal was not entirely comfortable with being thrust into the center of what some have labeled a PR stunt. "Mary values honesty and authenticity," one close friend revealed. "Being asked to play a part she doesn't fully believe in has been very hard on her." Another key move in Frederik's reputation campaign involved carefully managing the press. Royal correspondents noticed a sudden influx of flattering stories about both the king and queen in Danish and European newspapers. Long-form profiles focused on Mary's charitable work and Frederik's dedication to his people began appearing with surprising frequency, and suspiciously similar language, suggesting they were part of a coordinated media push. Even as the press campaign continued, insiders say the king took steps to tighten control over who had access to the couple. Some of Queen Mary's closest friends, particularly those rumored to have leaked private details, were reportedly excluded from recent royal events. These decisions, while perhaps logical from a crisis management perspective, have reportedly left Mary feeling increasingly isolated within her own marriage. Frederik, meanwhile, has also ramped up his solo engagements, eager to remind the public of his personal qualities as a leader. His unannounced visits to hospitals, schools, and military bases have been well received, painting him as a down-to-earth monarch who connects with ordinary citizens. Yet critics argue that his laser focus on image management comes at the cost of real connection with his wife. Observers say this intense focus on appearances is both the strength and weakness of Frederik's character. On the one hand, it demonstrates his awareness of the monarchy's fragile place in a modern democracy. A failure to maintain public trust could endanger its very existence. On the other, it raises the question of whether he is sacrificing his personal relationships on the altar of public approval. Experts in royal history have weighed in, noting similar patterns in other monarchies where leaders prioritized image over intimacy, often with devastating personal consequences. "This is not unprecedented," said one royal historian. "But it's also a dangerous game. People can sense when something is not genuine, and that can backfire." Queen Mary, for her part, has maintained her characteristic composure in public, attending events with her signature elegance and grace. But subtle signs of strain are hard to miss. During a recent reception, cameras caught her wiping what appeared to be a tear from her cheek during a speech by her husband. The image, which has since gone viral, ignited another wave of speculation. Is Mary silently enduring her role, or is she on the verge of a more definitive statement? Some members of Denmark's parliament have even begun voicing concerns about the secrecy surrounding the royal family's internal affairs. "The monarchy is a public institution," said one outspoken MP. "We deserve transparency. This kind of calculated image management is beneath the dignity of our royal house." Psychologists have also weighed in, pointing out that people in high-pressure roles often face profound internal conflict between duty and personal fulfillment. When one partner feels they must always put on a performance, it can lead to deep-seated resentment and emotional burnout, noted one clinical psychologist. For now, it appears the king is betting everything on maintaining the public's confidence, hoping the carefully crafted narrative will buy him and Mary the time and space to privately work through their differences. But some fear this gamble may ultimately prove self-defeating. The Danish public remains deeply invested in the story. Once proud of their royal family's modernity and authenticity, many now worry that those qualities may have been replaced by calculated politics and stagecraft. Social media has been ablaze with debates. Some sympathize with the king's predicament, while others demand more transparency from the palace. What comes next remains uncertain. Will Queen Mary continue to play her part in her husband's campaign, or will she break her silence and assert her own perspective? Can the king find a balance between duty to the crown and commitment to his wife, or will the tension between those responsibilities grow irreconcilable? One thing is certain, this is no longer just a story about two individuals, but about the very institution they represent. The choices they make in the coming weeks and months will likely define not only their personal legacy but also the future of Denmark's monarchy. And now we want to hear from you. Do you believe King Frederik's desperate measures are justified as a means of preserving the monarchy's reputation? Or do you feel they come at too high a cost to his marriage and his own authenticity? Leave your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to know your perspective. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe to BNews, and turn on notifications to stay informed on this and all the fascinating stories from the world of royalty.